Hi guys, happy hump day. This is your lesson for Wednesday. We are going to be working with expanding decimals with expanded notation. Again, this is a little bit of a review. We did this way back in the very beginning of the year when we were doing understanding place value in number sense. So it's going to be a review. But since it is Wednesday, please make sure that you are going to your reflex account and doing your 20 minutes of reflex before you start the lesson. Or if you want to wait to save it till after the lesson, that's fine, as long as you're getting that 20 minutes in and getting that, at least getting that green light, okay? So 20 minutes or until you reach the green light. So if you want to pause this, go to your reflex for 20 minutes or get that green light and then come back, that's fine. If you want to do the lesson and then save reflex for later, that's fine as well. But please make sure you get that in. So again, today we're going to be doing expanding decimals with a decimal expanded notation. Let's go ahead and get into question number one. Before we do that, make sure that you have your scratch paper to show your work. Again, take a blank piece of paper. You are putting a hot dog in half hamburger, then opening it back up. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 blank spaces to show work on the front, and then you'll have 4 blank spaces to show work on the back. Overall, there'll be 8 questions, including space for you to work on your exit ticket. So please go ahead and get that ready, and then go ahead and join me in the lesson. Okay, so first question is we are going to expand 35 and, remember when we see a decimal point we say 35 and 89 hundredths. The reason why I'm saying hundredths is because the 9 is in the hundredths place, so that's why I say 89 hundredths. Okay, so first thing, if I were just to expand my whole number, I would be doing the 3. Well, let's go ahead. I'm going to put a line right here. So I'm going to put a line where my decimal point is, because I am showing that this is my whole number. And this side is my decimal. Okay? So for my whole number, I'm going to expand just as if we were doing decomposing this for area model. My 3 is in the tens place. So if I have 3 tens, it's going to be 30, okay? 30, and then my 5 is in the ones place, so I'm going to do 30 plus 5, okay? Now I'm getting into my decimal. So I'm going to do plus, get rid of this line. Okay, so now I'm in the tenths place, okay? For my whole number, I'm going to show that there is no whole number to represent this 8. I'm going to put my decimal point, and I'm going to put 8 tenths, okay? Now I'm going to move to my hundredths place. I'm going to put a plus sign. I'm going to look at the 9 that's in the hundredths place, and I'm going to think there's no whole number. I'm going to put a space holder 0 for my tens place, and then put 9 in the hundredths. So it's going to be 0 as a whole number, decimal point, space holder 0 here in my tens place, and then 9 in my hundredths place. That is how you expand this number as a decimal. Okay? Now, I'm going to take this, what I just expanded, we're moving on to question number 2, and I'm going to use expanded notation. So it means I'm just going to expand it a little bit further. I am going to now use multiplication to expand this number even farther. So I'm taking 30, and I'm thinking it's in the tens place, right? The 3 is in the tens place, and I'll write this, tens. Okay? It's in the tens place. So I'm going to take 10, and I'm going to multiply it by what to get 30? If you want to count by tens, 10, 20, 30, multiplying it by 3 to get to 30. Okay? And that's how I get 30. I'm going to add a plus sign. I'm going to, inside my next parentheses, I'm going to expand how I got 5 using multiplication. My 5 is in the ones place. Okay? 5 is in the ones place, so I'm going to take 1, and I'm going to multiply it by what number to get 5 in my ones place? 1 times 5. Okay? And that is how I get 5, and just expand it a little bit farther. Okay, now it's going to get a little bit trickier, so stick with me. And again, if you need to pause this video, rewind it, play it again, please go ahead and do so. Okay, now I'm going to take 8/10. My 8 is in the tenths place. I need to show tenths as a decimal. So I'm going to put a 0 for my whole number, and I'm going to put a 1 in my tenths place, right? Notice I'm doing multiples of like the tens, okay? So this is 10, this is 1, this is 1/10. Multiplying it by 8 to get 8/10. Okay, taking 9/100, because 9 is in the hundredths place. I am going to, oh, sorry, I forgot pluses here, plus. Inside my parentheses, I'm going to find the hundredths place. So I'm going to show that by doing 0 as a whole number, decimal point, 0, 1, instead of a 9, I'm going to put a 1 here, and times it by 9. Okay? So this is your answer for question number 1. This is your answer for question number 2. Okay? If you need to repeat that and do the work and show the work along with me, please go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm going to erase this. And we're going to work on questions number 3 and 4. Okay. So, my whole number, ooh, this is a large one, get ready. Okay, so 8,132 and decimal point 7/100. The reason I'm saying 7/100 is because the 7 is in the hundredths place. Okay, 8,132, that is my whole number. 7/100 is my decimal. I'm going to expand my whole number first, just like I would be doing with area model, decomposing this number. I'm going to start with the 8, it's in the thousands place. So I'm going to do 8,000 plus, then I'm going to move on to my 1. My 1 is in the hundredths place, so 100. Then I'm going to move on to my 3. The 3 is in the tenths place. So plus, what does 3 tens equal? 10, 20, 30 equals 30. And then 2 is in my ones place, so plus 2. Okay, so I have my whole number. I expanded my whole number. Now I'm going to start with my decimal. So I'm going to start with a 0 as my whole number. 0, decimal point. Is there anything in my tenths place? Nope, so I don't have to actually include anything here. It would just be 0.00, which I actually can just forget about. But I do have something in my hundredths place, so I have to show the hundredths. So it'd be 0 and 0.07, okay? That is my expanded number for this decimal. Well, the whole number and the decimal. Now let's go ahead to question number 4, and we are going to use expanded notation. It just means I'm going to expand it even more using multiplication. So I'm going to take 8,000 and I'm going to expand it. The 8 is in the thousandths place, so I'm going to write 1,000. And I'm multiplying 1,000 by what number to get to 8? I'm multiplying by 8. Okay? Then I'm going to take 100. And I'm going to put 100, because the 1 is in the hundreds place, 100 times, well, it's a 1, so just 100 times 1. Easy peasy. Then I'm going to expand 30. My 3 is in the tens place, so I'm going to write 10 here. And I'm timesing what to get 30? 10 times 3. Right? Then I'm going to do 2 is in the ones place, so I'm going to write 1 times 2. And then lastly, we have our decimal running out of room, but I'm going to expand. The 7 is in the hundredths place, so I'm going to write hundredths, 1/100th as a decimal, and then times it by 7. Okay? So this is my answer to question number 3. I expanded this number. And then this is my expanded notation answer to question number 4. Okay. Okay. If you need to look back and try these couple of questions again, I would definitely stop the video, pause the video, rewind it, follow along again to see how to do it, and then go ahead and work on question number 5 and 6. Those are your you-do problems, so you are going to work on this by yourself. I would set 5, 7, 10-minute timer, however long you think you need to work on this, to do question number 5 and question number 6. If you don't need to go back and you think you understand how to do this, please go ahead and pause the video, set that timer for you to work on question number 5 and 6. And then you can come back and I will show you how to do the problems and have the correct answers, okay? So pause it. If you need to go back, rewind the video, look it over, that's fine. Or pause it and start your timer so that you can work on questions number 5 and 6. I'll see you back in a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and go over questions number 5 and 6 for your you-dos. Okay, we have 123 as the whole number. 123 and 874. Now, thousandths. The 4 is in the thousandths place, so 874 thousandths. Okay, let's go ahead and expand our whole number first, 123. I'm going to look at the place value. The 1 is in the hundredths place. So I have 100 plus the 2 is in the tens place. So 2 tens, that equals 20. And then I have the 3, which is in the ones place. Okay, now let's go ahead and expand my decimal. This is a little bit challenging, so stick with me. Also, please make sure you are checking your work. If your work doesn't look like mine, you are fixing it. If you need to pause it in order to fix it, please go ahead and pause the video. 100 plus 20 plus 3, that's my whole number. Now I'm going to get into my decimal. I'm going to work on the tens place, or tenths place, okay? I have a 0 as my whole number. I have my decimal point. I have 8 in my tenths place. Now I'm going to take the 7 in my hundredths place. 0 is my whole number, decimal point. I'm going to put a 0 here, and then just put the 7 in my hundredths place. Okay? And then I'm going to work in my thousandths place. I'm going to put a 0 as my whole number. I'm going to put a 0 for the tenths, 0 for the hundredths, and put a 4 for the thousandths. Okay? Notice each number is isolated. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and this is question number 5. This is the answer to question number 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and answer question number 6 with expanding it in expanded notation. That means just I'm expanding it a little bit more using multiplication. So I'm going to expand 100. I'm going to put it inside parentheses. 100, it's in the hundreds place, so 100 times what equals 100? It's times 1. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay. Plus, I'm going to go ahead and the 2 is in the tens place. So I'm going to do 10 times 2. That gives me 20. Okay? Now I'm going to work on the ones place. The 3 is in the ones place. So I'm going to do ones place times 3. Ooh. Now I'm going to work on my decimal. This is where it might get a little bit more tricky. Stick with me. If you need to pause, please go ahead and pause. Okay, I'm going to work on the tenths place. I'm going to show 1/10. And I'm multiplying it by 8 to get 8 in the tenths place. Okay, I am now going to show my hundredths place. So I'm going to show 1/100th. 1/100th times 7 to get my 7/100ths. Now I'm going to work on the thousandths place. And might have to go down here. Okay, so now I'm going to take thousandths. So I'm going to show 1/1000th times 4. Okay, those are your answers for questions number 5 and number 6. If you feel like you mastered this and you did a good job and you got 5 and 6 correct, go ahead and work on the exit ticket. Go ahead and work on the exit ticket because then you should be able to get the exit ticket correct. If you struggled with this, I would encourage you to go back and look at the video again with my examples, work through the examples again, and then go ahead, go to the exit ticket, okay? If you have any questions, I include my email. I will include my phone number for you to text me, okay? But hopefully this is just a review, so hopefully you guys are understanding it. I miss you guys. Happy hump day. Sending all the love and support to you guys at home. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.